I am ready for success. I am success. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. Welcome, 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 and I am ready for success too. Talk about General Hospital. I'm so excited. I'm James Lott Jr. Welcome to the podcast. That is my song, you guys. Yes, James Lott Jr. has a single out. It's called I Am Ready. You can go on any platform that sells music, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Amazon. It's everywhere you want to be. That's right. That's me. That's my voice. Yes, it is. And I'm ready to talk about to two people who talk about GH like I do every Sunday on AfterBuzz TV's GH Report. I found them on the internet, like you find anything else on the internet. But this time it was nice and safe. They were on iTunes, and I was looking around to see if there are any other GH-related podcasts or products out there. There's very few. And I'm a person who believes, and many of you guys who know me out there know I believe in unity and collaborative effort, and I don't believe in any kind of competition. We only have 4 soaps left. And the more we get everybody talking about the 4 soaps that are left, the better. And I've been talking to them for months now, and I've been wanting to get them on the GH Report, which is going to happen at some point. We're working on that. But we're having them today on the GH Mini Spotlight audio podcast. They have a show that, when I heard the title, I chuckled, because I'm a long-time General Hospital fan. It's called Planet Lumina. And as I started, I was like, oh, okay. It took me a second to think about, oh my God, now I know where that's from. And they're on their 66th episode, you guys. And I'm so excited to have them on here. Song Riddle and Rachel Noel Fox. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
It's funny. We're celebrating our 100th episode next week.
Wow.
You guys aren't far behind at all. So congratulations on 66 episodes. I mean, you were doing it for what, a year and a half or almost 2?
Yeah,
about that.
It's been a little over a year at this point. I mean, I think that we did some episodes in the beginning that we kind of dropped off because we didn't know what we were doing at all.
They were terrible.
They're terrible. They're terrible.
About a year, a couple weeks.
Yeah, about that, yeah. Yeah, well, congratulations to you as well. That's also exciting.
Yeah, 100 episodes is a lot.
Woo.
But the difference between you guys, we're on TV. When we mess up, it really shows, and we're live. So
Wow.
I've done 100 live episodes. Well, I haven't done all 100, but I've been most close to 100 of these live episodes. And sometimes we have false start. Like last night, we had our 99th episode, so we had a false start. And it was kind of funny, and so they kept it on. So when you go on YouTube right now, you'll see my false start. So it's kind of so I understand the early times of getting it started. I know, like I said, okay. So the title for many of you guys, if you are a longtime GH fan and remember a little storyline about Casey the Alien. That's so. What came up? How'd you come up with the name? That is very. I think it's genius. How you come up with the name?
Well, we are both primarily science fiction geeks and comic book geeks, and came to General Hospital through our love of comic books, because it's that same kind of serial.
The same kind of storytelling, definitely, yeah.
And so we decided to have a podcast, and we were trying to think of a name, and I was just doing lots of research on General Hospital things, and I came across the Planet Lumina story, and my babysitter watched General Hospital when I was a kid, so I do have some very vague memories of Alicia as an Aztec princess.
Yes.
And some of the storylines, and they're all on YouTube, and I just watched the entire storyline straight through of Casey the Alien, who's from Lumina. Technically, it's a star. I feel like there should be an
Oh, right, you're right. Oh, right, okay.
of our podcast.
Yes, right. That's true. Right. Yes.
But yeah, it was too perfect for us being such science fiction geeks.
Yeah, it really fit for us. I mean, a lot of the stuff that interests me, all of it really interests me. It's a lot of fun to watch, but whenever they kind of throw in the far-fetched stuff, you've got in the past the Weather Machine, the
Yes.
Aztec Princess storyline. Even as far as Olivia being able to predict the future after having been given a
LSD.
LSD.
Yes.
That kind of stuff just blows my mind. They're able to they're able to work that into a story that's essentially about people's love lives, people's babies, their family relationships, and those sort of dysfunctionality.
Lots of kidnapping.
Yes. Well, it's funny because Days of Our Lives, of course, started that whole external kind of like, Melania's possessed by the devil and,
Right.
And the, quadruplets and all that stuff. And then Passions came out, was born out of that. And yeah, and General Hospital had its forays into kind of some of that stuff. And occasionally they do some whimsical things maybe once in a while. I think right now, okay, here's the deal, you guys, and listeners out there. I do listen to your podcasts. I listen to your podcast. I don't always agree with you. I always agree, but my point is 10 folks can watch the show and get 10 different reactions, of course. So, right now with the Sam storyline, which I'm not really a fan of right now, but it is something kind of not otherworldly, but it's something different that they're doing with her, with the hallucinations and
yeah.
And we're thinking she stabbed Sonny and it didn't really happen. Like that kind of stuff. Everybody's like, they stabbed Sonny.
Yeah, me too.
You're sad. But I like I said, I do listen to you guys though, and I say okay. But I think it's so you guys have come from a science fiction kind of comic background, which is really interesting. Where two of my co-hosts come from comic book backgrounds. They're huge Marvel, DC folks, and they do all of our at AfterBuzz. They do all of our superhero shows, after shows.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's funny, you guys.
Work stuff into it as well. Sometimes, being Disney and ABC and stuff, they will actually sort of plug the new Marvel movies and the Star Wars movies on the show at times. It's kind of fun to hear them make reference to those things for me as well.
Yeah, so my two co-hosts are in that world. I'm not in that world. I'm purely come from entertainment and other stuff. But they come from those worlds, and they will relate things because we had Ian Buchanan on, who was in the original Flash TV series, and so they were able to ask him all these questions as fans about that with John Wesley's ship and everything.
Right.
So it does. And then Michael Easton. What? I'm sorry.
I said it also had Mark Hamill in it.
Yes, and Mark Hamill, yes. And then we have Michael Easton, of course, who does graphic novels.
Yeah.
And so he goes.
Got a copy of his book here.
Yeah, I have a copy of his book too. Yeah. Yes, I'm good friends with his publicist. Try and get him on the show, and he's elusive. Try and get him on the show, but it's just very hard. Okay, but so you guys decided to come. So how'd you two meet? Like, how you got your love of comic books and stuff? For science fiction?
The comic store that I worked in.
Yep.
In 1998, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nearly 20 years.
So, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I was doing security one day in the store, and my manager at the store introduced me to her over a comb that was shaped like an ice cream cone. So it was ice cream comb.
Okay, got it.
I love any kind of wordplay, and so it just cracked me up that she owned this thing. We've been friends ever since. Yep.
That's so funny. And podcasting obviously is the way to go these days. It's something you can do from home. You can get your own little studio. You can do it from your computer. It's like it is. It's not even the future anymore. It is today now, isn't it?
Yeah. Sometimes I kind of feel like it's like CD radio was in the 70s. Remember that?
Yes.
Huge sort of trend that happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's become a very accessible way for people to get their voices out there and to talk to other people, and to meet people that they normally wouldn't come across in their day-to-day.
Yeah, but also with the sophistication that like radio had in the 20s and the teens, where you would just listen to amazing stories and be really into that.
You mean Amazing Stories, the program?
No. I just mean like you know, it was a shared experience.
Right.
And there were so many different shows, like Serial. I think that was great.
Yeah.
You guys are back east, correct? You're in New York or New Jersey?
Yeah, we're in New Jersey. We're in Jersey City.
Oh, okay. Very good. A little East Coast. So you guys on the other side of the world. So compared to us.
Yeah. I'm from Los Angeles originally, so I go back there pretty regularly.
And my family's from New York.
Out there.
So it's why I go to New York all the time.
Oh, wow.
How funny is that? So we also, so you're from California. I also noticed you're a man of color.
Yeah.
I thought it's very interesting, like just like me.
There's many colors.
Well, many colors. Yes, I love that. But I know it's kind of fun because in this industry, of course, we know it's hard enough to get us on television in the soap. It's nice to see when I saw that because of course, I'm a man of color. My co-host on Audition Days, he's a man of color. So I thought there's a few of us these sprinkle around, but doing these podcasts and TV shows. I'm like, we're somewhere, so I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Because also we are a large.
Also,
Go ahead.
Also, I think it's what I think is so great about General Hospital, in that it's very diverse. I mean, more so with the extras than the leads, granted. But I've been one of the reasons that we have the podcast is trying to convert more people to watch it. So, and it's something that I go on rants to strangers about all the time, about how progressive General Hospital is, how feminist it is, how just anti-slut shaming, just in every way. It's such a great show as far as the principles that drive it. Part of why I love it so much.
Well, it's funny. Because obviously as we're here near the studio, we get the guests on the show. I work with the PR at GH. They've been wonderful. Shout out to everybody in PR there. I'm friends with Mark Teschner, who is the casting director, who's 10-time Emmy-winning casting director, and he's been on our show too. But I also talked to him off camera. He wants diversity. Obviously, it's not up to him; it's up to the powers that be. But we've had each of the black folks from General Hospital on our show. And we've had Donnell Turner, Anthony Montgomery, Brittany Sarpy, Vanessa Antoine several times. Donnell Turner, of course, is my man crush every day, and the fans know this. They've titled us Jonelle for James and Donnell. He's a great sport about it. Like he's one of the nicest people on earth. Great sport about it, but I drool over him every time. He sang to me at the Emmys. He's come on the show many times. But I think I've had all the black folks that are because seriously they are diverse. You're right, but in some cases they are diverse. I mean, like there is a storyline. They have storylines when Sean Blakemore was on, and we had Epiphany on recently. Sonia Eddy. I mean, I think we've had all the black folks. So we just kind of on our show. But you're right compared to other soaps. Because see the African American audience watches soaps. I mean, it's like there's a large African American audience that was raised on soaps. It should be more represented on the soaps.
I always kind of note that even if there aren't, and it almost seems like it's something that's made to sort of pick up the slack for the fact that there might not be people of color in central storylines on the show. When there aren't, they're always sort of in the background.
Yeah.
For instance, whenever they go to court, the police, the judges, the mayor, all the people that run the town are actually like black people.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
And well, Rachel brings up a point with the feminist thing. I mean, soaps obviously were made, for women, and obviously the tone has changed over the years. And a lot of female writers, obviously, on the shows. So you do see women of all types being represented, and on General Hospital especially. I mean, they're all there. I mean, to me, I want to give a shout out to Mara West because with that one eye, she is acting her ass off. She is acting her ass off with that one eye.
Yep.
Oh, she deserves. I mean, go ahead.
She's a powerhouse. She says so much just with her body language, even without any kind of dialogue. And for her to be completely bedridden, you only see half of her face and none of her body's moving. It's incredible what she's been able to do. Absolutely, I agree.
And her scenes with Nicholas Bechtel last week, oh my God, Spencer. Oh. I was crying.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Those are great.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him on the show, actually, because he's an incredible little actor. I mean, he holds his own with every single powerhouse actor on that show.
It's true. He totally does. I'm impressed. This entire past week, he was having scenes with, as though he was in adult storylines.
Yep.
And holding his own. And let me just mention, as far as Maura West acting with one eye, as an eye patch wearing person, I'm really excited at the possibility that Maura West might have to wear an eye patch to be Ava from now on, and that would be so great.
Interesting. Wow. And they could actually do a service of showing the beauty, with the eye patch. That she could be beautiful with the eye patch. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
She's always got like great styling anyway. That's a really striking. I'm not just saying this because Rachel's sitting across the table from me. Really having an eye patch, it adds a lot of style to a character.
It would fit her character.
Yeah.
It would fit her character. And I can agree with you on that. I can agree with you on. That would fit her character. Speaking of that, off mic, folks, we were talking, and I spoiled something for Song that I thought everyone in the Western Hemisphere knew, that Steve Burton's coming back. Because it seems like you guys have the same policy. Well, you have a similar policy as so we do 4 soaps after shows on our AfterBuzz TV. So we have one for each one. I created 3 of the 4. And our overall policy is we do not do predictions or spoilers. We don't report. We see everything online, but we don't report on rumors or gossip. Occasionally, if the story is big enough, like if it's a band's like the day we premiered GH Report 2 years ago was when Nancy Lee Grahn said negative comments towards Viola Davis's Emmy speech.
Oh,
and
geez.
we went back and forth in the room going, should we say something? Should we not say something? Should we say that? The fans were demanded that we comment on it. Like they literally dictated. And we don't always listen up. We do whatever we want, but trust me, we get a lot of backlash all the time because we're on TV and we get the nasty comments and stuff. But that one was almost like it's our premiere week. We want the numbers, kind of. So we had to find a way to do it so it wasn't distasteful because we want Nancy Grahn to come on the show at some point. We know we admire her, off camera. So I'm saying it was a weird. So it's like some things demand that we kind of, and the Steve Burton thing, Song didn't know about, you guys. He didn't even know. I ruined it for him because I thought he knew. Because you don't really you don't really go online like Twitter or Facebook.
I don't watch trailers for movies either. I want to be able to take the thing as it comes and kind of experience it for what it is instead of based on my expectations of the thing. And so I purposely avoid watching any kind of trailers or reading any kind of gossip or news about things that are coming out. But so you having told me that, I'm going to say is pretty amazing. I have no idea what they're going to do with that. It can only be incredible to have both him and Billy Miller on the screen at the same time.
I hope it's cloned, but I always hope it's cloned. Clones are vampires. I'm always happy with it. I think they might be able to do that.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, so since you didn't know this whole thing, the rumor was, and it's not going to be this. I know personally it's not going to happen, but the rumor was Steve Burton's coming back to General Hospital. Billy Miller's going back to Young and the Restless. Jason Thompson's going they had a whole ring around the posies kind of thing going on, and that's not true. That's not true. They love Jason Thompson on Young and the Restless. He's doing amazing work as Billy over there, and I don't know how you guys felt. My team and I loved Billy Miller when he was Jake Doe.
Oh, yeah.
We were big.
But not as much as Jason?
Yes. We don't like him as Jason. We never liked him as Jason. So for us, we're excited. We thought him and Sonny had no chemistry. There was nothing there. But as Jake Doe, we loved the possibility when he was kind of flirting with not going back to the mob, kind of partial Quartermain stuff was going on. Him and the other Jake, they had the great chemistry. I just thought it was a great thing. They both were trying to figure out their lives. We really enjoyed the possibility of Jake Doe. We liked him with Elizabeth as Jake Doe. We love that whole thing. So for us on our show, we're very excited the possibility of Steve Burton coming back. I feel like the rights will be done right or something.
So many possibilities out of that. I mean, that creates a situation where, he might go back to Elizabeth, and that's going to destroy Elizabeth and Franco. I mean, I don't know if you know about this stuff. It kind of brings it back to there's an old Spider-Man storyline in the 90s, and it actually lost a lot of readership at the time. But it turned out that for the last like 20 years, the guy that had thought that he was Peter Parker was actually not Peter Parker, but was a clone of Peter Parker.
Oh, okay.
And so he went off and became a character called the Scarlet Spider. His name is Ben Reilly, and the guy who had been living his life not knowing who he was comes back and resumes his life as Peter Parker.
So that like negated 20 years.
It negated 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and like the fans like lost it. They lost so much readership during that time period because of that. But I think in this kind of situation, if it's something like that, that could actually be pretty interesting.
Yeah, that would be fascinating.
Well, you know, on Dallas, the whole Dream season was another gutsy thing they did back in the day. And Bobby comes back. They killed Bobby one season. It was wrong. Larry Hagman said, "Come back to the show. The show's failing." And he came back in the shower, that famous shower scene, and they decided, we're going to pretend the whole season didn't happen. So it was like they had to go back to square. So they went back to square one. And so, like, the fans were pissed because Sue Ellen wasn't a drunk anymore, and Ray and Donna they adopted a deaf kid. Like, all this storyline happened the whole season. Back then, it was 22 episodes, and they said it didn't happen. That Pam dreamed the whole thing up.
Wow, I didn't know that. I was a kid when that was showing, so occasionally I would kind of like stand on the staircase when I was supposed to be in bed and watch it. And my mom was like, I remember watching it on TV. But so I missed that. But they did something similar on Roseanne as well.
Yes.
They didn't have a following season.
Yes, Roseanne did the whole 9th season. Was basically she wrote it, and Dan had died, and yeah. So I mean, it's gutsy. I mean, the thing is, it can be gutsy, and like I said, with the Tale of Two Tods and Life to Live, it kind of worked. And they brought back the evil mother, and she explains everything, and it kind of worked out. And with John Black and Roman Brady on Days of Our Lives, that was a decades-long thing too. It was about Stefano. So to me, it's like if you bring Helena into the mix somehow, they can explain it.
Anything can.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
She's like a deity, like she affects things in so many huge ways. It could be anything.
Anything. So anyway, so folks like that, just kind of funny that I let you know that I let the cat out of the bag, even though I thought it was out of the bag because they did a commercial for it. But I'm not telling him anything else that I know because they made some other major announcements. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but 2 of them I'm very sad about.
Yes, one of the I know one of the people is leaving.
Oh.
And it's very sad because recently they had a couple of scenes with this person with someone else. I was like, this is more what we wanted. This is more what we wanted, and now it's not going to happen anymore. Yeah. So that was one, and then of course one of the head writers, Jean Pascal, she's actually retiring. So that's not really any kind of spoilers. So it's just she retired, and of course, you guys, how do you feel about Jane Elliott? Wasn't that so? Oh my God, gutted me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, she's one of our favorites.
She's my favorite to watch. She's always styled well. She was always acting. At no point she's just the best.
I know.
I'm sad to see her go. I'm glad they gave her a send off that was as long as it was. Like they gave her a lot to do for send off.
And do you like Anthony Geary coming back at the end?
It was a little strange that he was just there for one shot and didn't say anything.
Yep. Yeah, that was one we didn't know was going to happen or not. There was speculation he was going to come back, and the fans, of course, demanded he come back, of course. But it's like, there he is for this long. He's in Amsterdam most of the time now. That's his whole life. So in real life. So it's kind of like, oh, okay. So he came back. And Tony Gear lives in Amsterdam. So that's the whole Dutch thing. So every vacation he left, he would go to Holland. And now he spent time over there. He take all these major vacations.
How much do the writers listen to the fans? Do they alter their storylines based on what the fans' reaction is?
Usually, no. They try to go by ratings, and Q ratings, which are kind of the which couples are trending, which couples are hitting, which characters are hitting. But no, a lot of times that's probably the problem is that the fan outcry is like, you don't listen to us. We want this, we want that, and they don't do it on this show. They write 5 weeks in advance, so 5.5 weeks in advance. And so yeah, so you don't. I mean, every actor I've had on the show, it's like people say we want more of you, and they're like, we do too. But the fans, but that's why I'm hoping these shows like yours and ours, they start to know we're out there, and we're like, we're telling you because we're talking directly to the fans who tell you who they want to see. But I would never. Oh my god, the last 3 weeks have been so nasty on soap Twitter that a lot of us on our show, a lot of us on our shows have had to comment on it just to say that we don't appreciate it because we've gotten thrown into the mix on some level too because we're on TV. Because fans will send me death threats and things saying that because I don't like certain characters,
Wow.
or tell me that I'm fat, and fuck you and all these things. They'll just cuss at us. They attacked my female co-star. One guy harassed her for 4 days straight on Twitter.
Wow.
Because she doesn't like Sunny.
Because of her opinion of a character. That's mad.
Yep. And so the thing is now actors and actors are getting the same thing. So an actress from Days of Our Lives complained about it, saying it made her cry because her couple pairing, they were attacking her personally. And she's like, I'm an actress doing a job. And so it's very we're doing this and our thing, which I know you guys do too. We never attack an actor or an actress on our show. It's always character or storyline.
Right.
We would never. You guys don't. I know you guys don't either, right? You never attack. You don't go after. I hate that bitch. And oh my god, no, you never go. You never do that for an actor.
I have seen people like that do that though. Like I remember one time a couple years ago, we were watching a guy on YouTube that was sort of giving his weekly recap or daily recap or whatever, and he was his attitude was that it was full of vitriol towards specific people.
As though it was real.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Nurse Betty kind of situation.
Yes, right. Good reference. Exactly. And the thing is, they attack the soap writers now because the soap writers are on Twitter. You know their names. They attack Gene and Shelley all the time. They attack everybody from General Hospital. They attack the directors. I mean, they go if they don't see what they like. That's not what you don't be a soap writer because the soap fans are so fickle, and because you can't please everyone at this point. I mean, like it's an embarrassment of riches when you have several sets of people have chemistry with several sets of people on a show. You can't.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's. And also, and you guys know this, on soaps you can never be really happy for long. I mean, that's
exactly. I mean, I remember there was an interview with Anthony Geary, and he was saying that, for him to just stay with Laura, like his character, that's not dynamic, that doesn't go anywhere, that's not an interesting story. Things have to keep moving. There would be nothing to watch if everyone was just happy couples.
Yeah.
And people don't seem to understand that it's a show. To keep it interesting, there has to be some drama. And drama means there has to be something that someone wants and something taken, like things have to happen and they can't all be good because that would be a boring show. That's part of it. It's very strange. I see a lot of that in Twitter. It primarily seems to revolve currently around the Jason pairing.
yes. Yes.
They just hate each other so much.
Oh, and so here's the thing. Okay, so I'm not a Frizz fan, but my co-star is. I'm a Roger Howard fan, and I'm a Becky Hurst fan. I think they're both incredible actors, and I'm a big fan. Rebecca Hurst never ages. First of all, I don't know who she's talking to because she looks.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Same age.
God,
She was a teenager.
she looks the same. It's crazy. And Roger Howarth, of course, is just a legend. I mean, everything he's done, I've always liked. But I'm just not. I liked him with Nina, and Michelle Stafford's one of my good friends. I'm actually friends with her off camera. She's a friend of mine, and I really liked their pairing because they're just both kind of quirky. Even though I like her with James Patrick Stewart as Valentine. I mean, like you can't help that there's like chemistry with several different people. It's how it is. But I never got to Frizz. Sorry.
I was saying you're going to want to exploit that. Like if you have the option to have it work with different pairings, like why wouldn't you want to explore that and see
Exactly.
how it worked out? It's fun.
But I've gotten attacked for not liking stuff. So go ahead.
I was going to say I didn't like them at first, Frizz, Franco and Liz.
And Liz, yeah, Franco and Liz.
The idea of it kind of skews me, but they handled it very lovingly, and something about the sort of good naturedness of their development made me actually appreciate their their relationship.
But I'm curious. Well, I'm curious about Rachel thinks, because some women say that I've heard it's the first time Liz is a priority in a man's life, and she's kind of the savior this time, not the damsel. So, Rachel, I'm actually curious. What do you think about this pairing?
I would agree with you, actually, with that, and maybe that's why I don't mind it. I did not like the idea of Franco and Liz, and I remember the first time we saw the first kiss, and I was like, no, and I covered my eyes. I don't want to see it happen, you know? And I was really against it, and I think I appreciate their relationship on a technical level, in that was a real steep incline to climb for the writers and the actors to make the character of Franco, who is such a creepy, evil dude, to become someone that, you know, Elizabeth Weber would be suitable with, you know, the lady with 3 sons who's like, you know, a single mom, and she's always kind of plucky, even though she's a little bit of a know-it-all. And yeah, I'm mostly bummed out that the Crisis of Infinite Universes of all the shows on ABC combining through General Hospital didn't happen. And so I feel some regret that he's Franco and not Todd Manning, with all the weird Todd Manning stuff happening.
I agree, girl. I'm a Todd Manning fan. Sorry, I'm a Todd Manning fan, and I love in the beginning when they had Blair and Taya and Todd and Star and all. I mean, they were crossing over.
Yes, it was amazing, especially the scene when they were at Taya's house. And
Yes.
She's like, "Why do you have a picture of my ex-husband?"
Yes, Tomas, I love it. Yes, I love it. Yes, and Lorenzo. I was like, the possibilities of that were endless. Endless.
Yeah.
And then Prospect Park screwed all it up.
Really
and ABC that screwed all up, because I thought this is because they were going to find ways to really integrate them in a way that it didn't take away from General Hospital. It kind of added, because Carly liked Todd. I mean, it was all on, and she liked Blair, but she got along with Blair fine. And it was like they were kind of integrating it a little bit. It's like, ooh, but you know, right now we're hoping they bring on David Hayward, because Vincent Irizarry now is off of Days of Our Lives. And David Hayward and Anna have a past from All My Children, when she was on there. So, and they already brought Alex on for a minute, which I was happy about. But I thought, I was like, okay, because now they can do it again. Now they can bring on, they can if they want. But I thought they need another doctor of a certain age. He's a great actor. He has a lot of fans. And I'm thinking, and Anna. I mean, even though, oh my God, so who do you like Andre and Anna together?
Kind of do. I didn't the first time they started it, and I had the same no, I don't want that to happen. But I think now that Anna is into it and is flirting back,
yes,
I kind of like it, because I haven't seen her that lighthearted and flirty.
Well, I know.
So that's kind of nice to see, and having them dance together was cool to watch. So I'm kind of all right with it.
That was fun. I thought the whole dance thing was fun. Obviously she's a dancer in real life, and that's her whole thing. But I thought it was kind of fun, and like you said, lighthearted. It's like Anna's always in control or out of control kind of. She's always trying to, she's balancing between two different types. And it was good to see her kind of just like let loose for a minute. Just be.
Yes, and I always loved the continuing trope in General Hospital to have younger men. Just straight up younger men, shirtless men, younger men, almost every single pairing. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I agree, but I'm wondering. See, to me, I said this on my show last night, because there's people worried about Nathan and Maxie. They have a huge fan following. Kirsten's had her problems in real life, so she's been off the show, but she is coming back. But we don't know for how long. But they've had him with Reza Dorkin, who plays Amy. A lot of scenes together. And I said last night, I got some people were on my side, some were like, no. I said, if they go a direction where, because Ryan Pavey, who's been on our show and Men in Person, who is so good looking, it's distracting.
Really, totally is.
To have no serious, he's just so you guys know, off camera, he's super intelligent. His sense of humor, we're talking off camera, it's like you have to like really listen to him because like he'll say certain things you're like, I'm stupid. I'm totally dumb. I went to college and everything. I'm totally dumb. He's very smart, and he's actually really funny.
I'm assuming he does.
So what?
Speak French. Does he really?
Yeah, he does. He does because his last name is a double last name, and it's like Viegre. So it's like how you pronounce it in French, Pavy. It's both. He has two. Actually, has two French. He has a French last name. But yeah, he is just so good. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like we all just couldn't stop staring at him. How good looking he was. My thing is, I said I'm okay because I like Maxine together, but if she can't be on full time, I have no problem going with Nurse Amy to show people that you can be beautiful as a bigger woman, and she can get. I mean, I have no problem with that. And some folks got mad at me, but I was like, I have no problem with that. I think if they go in that direction, the way they handle it correctly, I have no problem with it.
Yeah, and they have such a good repartee together as well. You know, like their conversations are so fluid and so fun to watch.
Yeah, we would both be very happy to see Amy and Nathan end up together.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you guys, on our show, the fans laugh at us all the time because I'm so mean. I have to admit this. I am so mean. I hate the Manlander storyline. I mean, I hate it so much that I refuse to talk about it on our show. Though, so we do topics. So we'll go like you guys. You'll say like, what happened. On our show, we don't say what happened. We just say, okay, what happened this week, and then my host will read like one of the main storylines. And the fans laugh at me all the time when I say this. Like, okay, so we have Manlander goes next. Man, no, we don't. People want to chat. We have a live chat room, so we have about 100 people who actually watch us live, and they're able to comment on YouTube while we're live. And I go, "Come on, Jez, I don't want to talk about Manlanders. I can't do it. My ears hurt. I can't do. My eyes were hurting. I can't do Manlanders." So it's become this kind of joke on the show that I refuse to talk about. Last time was the first time I let them talk about it for a little bit. It's okay only because one of our AfterBuzz co-hosts was the guy who played the podcast host on Adam's Apple. He's one of our hosts.
Oh, wow.
He got a role on the show, recurring on the show. And so, only because Mike Kalinowski, shout out to you, Mike, was on the show, I said, you got 5 minutes. Go. So, I hate this. I hate it so much. But I like them together. Like you just said, I like them together. I like how they talk to each other. I like that part.
Yeah, no, they're a lot of fun to watch together.
Do you each have a go-to character that you just love so much that you want to see as much as you can on the show?
Both of us are really into Ava and Valentine.
Okay.
I mean, we're always happy when they're on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. We relate to them in strange ways.
Yeah, I mean, I relate to Valentine.
Do you really?
Like to any other character, yeah. We I don't know if we've talked about this much or if you've ever heard us talk about this, but we're both biologically atypical people.
Yeah.
Yes, I can tell from you guys.
So
yes.
I suffer from Tourette syndrome.
Oh yes, that's right. I did read that.
And I've got scoliosis that needs fusing.
Yeah.
It's neurological problems. So, yeah, every time there's the outsider, we're usually relating real hard with the outsider.
Yeah, underdogs and outsiders.
So today, I mean, I also can relate to Nina a lot.
Oh yeah.
And her whole mom relationship.
Yes. Oh
her
yes.
whole growing up, I'm like, wow, I can relate. That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, Kiki's mom relationship especially.
Yeah, that too. I can relate. Yeah. Yeah, mom issues. So soap operas are great for me.
So then you must have really felt something, you guys, because I felt it just as a person watching the show, when the whole Valentine explained well, first of all, Finola Hughes can act her way. I can watch her read the phone book. She's just so good. But her scenes with him, when they discuss how he was when he first back in the day, I was just like, so you guys must have felt something towards that. I mean, I felt it just as a person watching, but you must have felt some kind of kinship to that a little bit then, didn't you?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, when he's just feeling so broken and talking about how ugly he was. And, yeah. that definitely had us. Yeah, I had tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
I'll admit it.
Our
Yeah, that was,
thing with Valentine is the only thing that's hanging over his head is this whole Nicholas thing. Because first of
Right.
all, he's such a great actor. James Spencer is such a great actor, and he's a great leading man. We want him on the show. And the Spencer storyline to me kind of makes sense in a way because it's kind of like we're finally getting some kind of closure because he killed Nicholas. And of course I don't. And in all seriousness, I don't know anything. I mean, I say killed in quotes because I'm just thinking I don't know. But
right.
I mean, Tyler Christopher says he's not coming back. I mean, who knows what that means? We did like Nick Stabile. We had no problem with him. We thought he did an admirable job as Nicholas.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's the only thing that's kind of hindering just the full turnaround. It's just that there's just this nigga. He killed a beloved character and got away with it. So that's the only thing I think it's kind of happening for him.
We both believe that Nicholas is coming back in some form or another. I mean, I'm convinced that the situation is that Nicholas and Valentine worked together to stage Nicholas's death so that his holdings could remain in his possession.
Because he was in so much debt at the time of his death.
Oh, ooh, I didn't think about that. That's right, he was. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
And there was that one scene months ago on The Haunted Star when Ava got a phone call. It was like in the last scene of the episode of the day. Ava got a phone call, and she said, "Nicholas?" And then that was never developed. Like, it was just thrown there, and nothing ever happened to it.
Oh my God, I think you're right. That's so interesting. But then here's the question: the first time he faked his death, he let Spencer know what's going on. Is it now considered cruel? He's not letting him know what's going on now.
Well, when they caught Valentine was on his way to get Spencer, and he said to Spencer, "I'm going to bring you to your dad." So if they were in cahoots, then maybe he sent Valentine to actually get Spencer.
Okay, I get you. Nope.
He stopped it from happening.
Yeah. And the other element.
There's also the thing that, whenever somebody approaches Valentine and says, like, "You killed Nicholas in cold blood, you murdered Nicholas," his response is always, "There's really a lot of information that you don't know about this." He always says something to that effect. You don't know the whole story.
He does. Oh my God. He does say that. I'm like sitting there thinking, oh, he does say that. He said it the other day. Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I like that. Okay, see, that's why I love this. I mean, I need another set of ears and eyes to like bring it to my attention. Like, but I think okay. But I think we all agree that Nick is gonna come back in some form. We don't know when. I have no idea when. Like, seriously, I have no idea when. I haven't read anything, but I just feel like that's the last thing that will kind of fully redeem him. And one last thing I want to ask you guys about with the show is how you feel about Alexis.
Oh, that's a touchy subject.
Probably like our show too is a touchy subject.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like they kind of ruined it when they made him try to kill her, even though later trying to say it was Olivia. I mean, it was a whole. I have a weird feeling about all that.
They might have been able to get away with that if they hadn't shown Julian being haunted by
Carlos.
the ghost of Carlos saying, "You want to do it," and him having fantasies of actually throttling her and drowning her in the bathtub.
I agree.
So, like, we saw inside Julian's brain.
I agree.
I don't know what they think they can do after that, unless he had a brain tumor.
No.
Like, he was thinking these thoughts and he didn't want to. But
that's hilarious. Of the brain.
Yeah.
So you don't get started on that. But yeah, no, that was my fit. But then see, my co-host loves William DeVry. Like he's a hot Canadian, so she loves him. And I said no. I get that he's a great leading again, but they ruined another leading man, so to speak. They put him into a corner, in my opinion. And so because they showed the harshness of him wanting to kill her, so it's like there was no. I mean, that's the problem. I guess they get an idea. This is what writers do. They get an idea. They're going to try it out, I guess. And then I think that's where they look at fans. And they see the fan react. Alexis is a popular couple.
Right, and people are still really into them, too.
Yeah, we are. I guess that's kind of my next question. So, do you read fan feedback? Is there stuff you read that kind of keeps you informed of how the couples are doing and things?
I try to say, I feel guilty because I feel like it's some sort of horse race. Like, to be on a soap opera, there's these stats that are constantly piling in. So I don't know. It feels like a dystopian science fiction game show or something.
Or
Who
like
gets
a Black Mirror episode or something.
yeah. So I don't know. It kind of, I hope good things for people, but I try not to. It gets really dramatic and people get really nasty and personal about it. So yeah, I don't really. I think, but I think with regards to Alexis, one of the things that I don't really dig about Julian too is that he's too good at being kind of smarmy.
Yeah.
Like, they write him too well that he's too easily unlikable. The last scene they had with he and Alexis, he just kind of sat down and he started eating her ice cream.
Yes. Yes.
Like, God, what a creep.
That whole thing as well about the, I'll make you can listen to that mixtape, you know, it'll have like Sting on it.
But he said Sting like a perv.
Right, like, that's what I'm going to do to you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. We had a good laugh over his, but him and Sam, when he's like, "Are you okay?" She's like, I came to you for help. Obviously, I'm not okay." And even he kind of chuckled a bit, like, "You're right." That was hilarious. Oh my God, it was hilarious. I was like, we had a good laugh over that. But even he looked like he had a laugh over it too, kind of like, "You're right." So that's kind of
I am terrible.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I was like, yeah, because like, she's coming to you. Like, that's not, that can't be good. Okay, so you guys, well, go ahead.
I was just going to say, as far as Alexis goes, to get back to that, I have a hard time with the idea that anybody should want to go back to their abuser. And to me, he is an abuser. And, you know, regardless of what their chemistry is, and it's obviously very good, having him be that person to her means to me that she should move as far away from him as possible. You know, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, like, it's a touchy subject because, you know, you have people who are involved in long-term relationships with, like, you know, their rapists.
Yep.
But I don't think that he's done a lot to redeem himself in her eyes so much. I mean, like, he helped her through the alcoholism thing, but, like, he also caused the alcoholism.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of tough for me to reconcile that relationship, personally.
Well, it's good to know, because our show too. So the three of us, we're all like the same. We all have different feelings about it. So I think so I'm glad to know it's a little universal, that we're all, and again, it's a complex thing. That's a great thing. I guess that's the great thing about soap opera. You know, they make mistakes too sometimes, or they try to correct things they've done. And I know different writing regimes coming in and out, and I tell people all the time, no soap writer wants to ruin your show. They don't want to. They don't want to ruin your show. They want to do it. They want your show to succeed. They want to do. These shows have been on for 50 years. They want them to keep going, and sometimes they have ideas that sound good on paper, and it just doesn't execute well, or they leave out a detail, or there isn't a consistency thing that happens, or continuity, which is a big thing on soaps. Because soap fans, we know everything.
AJ, that was like the craziest continuity rewrite I've ever seen. No, really, he like, we saw his corpse when he died, and then they brought him back.
Yeah.
And said that he never died.
Right.
But you saw the dead bodies.
Right.
Yeah, there was a whole scene when Alan was talking to his dead son in the morgue, and then they just made a different scene and said, no, he didn't die. Monica just squirreled him away. Really? There was a scene.
Well, you know, Sean Kane is my friend. I was like, good to see him back there. I thought he never got a fair shot. I thought AJ never got a fair shot on the show. I liked him with Elizabeth. I thought that was promising. I just think they never gave him a fair shot. And it's funny because, like, Wally Kurth is doing two soaps. He's doing both General Hospital and Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
And I've had him on the show too, and he's a really nice guy. And he's like, he loves doing both. He's having a good time. He's not on contract with either one. So like sometimes he's on the same day on both subs. It's really a trip. But General Hospital, he says, it's really his home. He was there the longest time, and the Quartermains are very. I mean, we're always screaming more Quartermains, more Quartermains. I can't believe how many Quartermains they've killed over the years. It just is astounding they choose to kill them, not send them away, but kill them. I don't understand. So I'm kind of liking these Quartermain scenes recently. They're kind of the men kind of coming together. I'm like, bring back Sky, bring back something like let's get some more some more Quartermains in there. I mean, it's like it's iconic. I mean, it's like the Quartermains are just as important as the Corinthos and other clans.
You bring back Maya.
Bring back Maya.
Yeah, the Charlie's Angels show didn't.
It didn't work. They bring back Maya. They bring back Brooklyn. They can bring back. There's Quartermains out there, and they can even make up some. Because I mean, Jimmy Lee was a Quartermain. Maybe he has some kids. I mean, there's Quartermains everywhere. They can work it out. And the Quartermain kids are there. So yep.
Right.
You had asked if there were any characters that are go-tos for us.
Yes.
Whenever Ned shows up on the screen, we both just jump and yell out,
Yeah.
Ned!
Yeah.
Because we're excited to see it.
He's so charming.
He is charming.
He's such an easy actor, isn't he? Like it's effortless. It comes out. He's comfortable. It's like you see him on screen. He's like comfort food. It's like, oh, there's the mashed potatoes and gravy. There he is. It's like it's so wonderful. It's just like you're right. I mean, like I said, I'm meeting him in person. He's like that in person. He's one of the nicest people, and he has those big dimples, and he'll smile at you. He's like, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. Sure, okay, sure, whatever you want. But he's super, super nice, and he's been in business for 30 years, and he gets it. And that's the. Would you guys ever want to meet some of the cast or anything? If you had a chance?
I would love to.
Yeah.
We both would.
Yeah, let's work that out.
We went to the Star Trek convention, so.
Yeah. Last
contact.
summer, we went to a Star Trek convention, and Anthony Montgomery.
Yep, he was there. Yep, sure.
On Enterprise, so we got to meet him, which was pretty cool.
He's nice. He's a nice guy. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, because I was saying he was on stage. He was young. He gave us some headshots to give out to our fans, and he gives a few from the Enterprise days. I'm like, wow, you were so young. We were laughing about that. It was really cute. But yeah, that's the only thing we have different from you guys. Kind of just that we get to have them because we're nearby, and we get to work with them and have them on our shows. But just to let you guys know, they're all so far everybody's been super nice. And been really and been really fun, and they all kind of seem to get that the soaps there's only 4 left, and they all want to do a good job. That's what it seems like to me. They always want to do a good job and be employed for a while, and they're committed to, and they really are committed to their characters. The General Hospital has really great actors.
Yeah, they're amazing. I mean, we're always talking about that how dedicated they are. Like they really put in everything that they have into their roles, which is commendable.
Yeah, my go-to person is Carly. I'm a big Laura Wright fan. She does wrong all the time, but I don't care. I love her.
No, she's amazing.
She's amazing, and I can't imagine how she can play that role without swearing all the time. Like, if I was that angry, if I was Carly, I would just be swearing all the time.
It's so funny. The other day when Eden McCoy's character, Eden's doing great work too, actually, is Jocelyn. When she said, she would sit on the couch, just like a 13-year-old, because I have 2 daughters. I know exactly that face and that tone. And she's just like, well, maybe I need a new provider. And when when Carly said, "What you talking about? Just your tone with me?" It's like that. I was like, "Why?" Yeah, in real life, we'd be saying, we'd be cussing and saying a few words at her.
Yeah.
But I like when she's like, "Excuse you," because everything Johnson's saying is correct, of course. But still, Carly's the mother. She's like, "You don't talk to me that way." Like she's from the streets. She's like, "You don't talk to me that way." So I agree with you, Rachel. I'm like, I'd be cussing up a storm because my daughter's going off of me. No, girl. She's like, I'm not the one. Carly is down home girl. She is home girl. She comes from home girl Bobby. They're all home girls. Yeah. So I think but it's funny you say it because I agree. Because but she's just, to me, next year's Emmy is really interesting because Maura West obviously needs to be nominated. But so does Laura Wright, because the continuation of the Morgan death thing, I mean, oh my God, when
They were incredible.
she was on the floor listening to the
Yeah.
recording, the last recording, she forgot the phone to work, and it's her talking to Morgan. Because he didn't get the call, and Sonny walks in, and she has his picture, and she starts screaming at him, and she throws the picture down, like, you killed him, and she throws the picture down, and Maurice Bernard, his acting on that, just his reaction, he completely shut down. I was like, oh my God, this is an acting class, a master class in acting. I don't know how Laura Wright went home and like didn't just break down every night. I mean, she was just amazing every day. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was amazing. There was really interesting photography in that as well.
Yes.
That scene that you're talking about, they did like shot from outside of the house.
Yes.
They were Harley and Sonny were separated by the window frame.
Yes.
That was beautiful.
And you couldn't hear specifically what was being said. You just saw the anguish.
It reminded me of. Okay, I may not be a geek like you guys, but there are some shows that I do like that I can recite word for word, and Buffy is one of them. Okay, Buffy, one of the best shows ever on television ever. That's the same thing when their mother died. That episode, first of all, is one of the greatest episodes of television that I've ever seen. First of all, it was so.
When she walks into the house and sees her down.
Oh my God! And her eyes are just laying there, and then, but also when they're driving and there's no dialogue, and they're sick because they got to go to the school to tell her sister, and so they're just driving, and it's like that's the awkward silence, like that's completely real life. My mom just died, and I got to tell my sister. And I'm saying that reminded me of a scene where they go to the school, and that's the same thing. Behind the glass, they pull back, and she's telling her sister. I love when people make choices like that, because we've seen so many of these scenes on TV at this point, a million different times. I'm glad when they decide to use kind of a different kind of framing to bring it out. And again, Maura West, I keep praising her. She loved Morgan. I mean, I really believe that Ava loved Morgan. And when she found out she was... So go ahead.
That was one of my favorite couples.
Yes, mine too.
Yeah, they were hot.
They were hot. And they were good. But she cared about him. And when she found out he died, you could just tell she was devastated. She was shocked and devastated. And it was like, but she had some culpability in that. It was like there's, again, Maura West again. I know I keep praising on this episode all of a sudden, but it's like it is all this. The Emmys next year will be very interesting to see who goes up, who actually wins. It's gonna be. I mean, GH has some really good. I mean, I know Lexus too. I mean, her breakdown. I mean, it's just there's so many. It's an embarrassment of, as my friend says, embarrassment of bitches, an embarrassment of riches on this show. That's gonna be very interesting to see who, and Haley Aaron, who is having a really great week. It was her birthday last week. She got engaged to her boyfriend.
That's right.
And she's a friend of our show too. We love Haley. She's growing into an actress. I really like her now. Like, she's really grown into her character, I think.
Yeah, when she first came on as Kiki, it was awkward because he was filling the roles of someone who'd been in the industry since they were a toddler, practically.
Yeah, right.
And so I think there was a little bit of a learning curve, but she's great.
I agree.
I think that she's the bubbly innocent that the show needs. That you watch go through terrible things and go, oh, jeez, poor Kiki. Yeah, poor girl.
And our most controversial character we've ever had on our show, and it was very interesting because our viewer, we take phone calls sometimes, and our viewers actually are super nice and respectful for the most part. But we had a couple of callers we had to kind of monitor because it was really weird. We had Chloe Lanier on, who plays Nell, not too long ago. And, since you guys don't follow online, that character is completely, it's a controversial character. There are folks who just hate her. and there are folks that love her. Go ahead.
I have actually seen some of that conversation. I think I was on one of the websites, one of the recap websites, a while back, and it was like a pages-long argument about the validity of Nell, how much they like Nell, should she stay? Yeah, I've seen a little bit of that. We love her.
Oh yes, okay, good. Okay, you guys do. Okay, yes. Yeah, she's a great actress. She was on Army Wives, so I knew her from that. But she's a great actress. She's a great person. We loved her in person. She was a great. We had a great time with her on the show, and she's very very. She was very calm, but she was very clear to a couple of our callers. You know, this is the character, and but it was really interesting. She's the only time on our show that we had that I was a little, even more so than like Obrecht. We had Kathleen Gotti on the show, like people like that. I guess the out and out cartoon villains they don't mind so much, but for her apparently it was like you trying to break out Carson and you're with Michael. I mean, it's just the like I said, the vitriol that was coming through our screen was like I hadn't felt that before. In the 2 years I've done this show, I've never felt that before. And she's like the sweetest person on earth. The sweetest person on earth. She was sweet, and she had a good time. She said and everything. So we worked it out. But it was one of the first times I was as the lead host of a show where I'm monitoring the phone calls, watching the chat room, making sure our guest is okay. It was a little tense for me. It was really a little tense for me. Trying to figure that out. But I think she had a really great time on the show, and we've talked to her since. But it's like it's funny how people just we're in that business, you know. Of that, so but you guys are great, and I'm so glad that I found you guys, and I'm glad you guys. I have no problem promoting you guys at all. I love promoting you guys out there to people who may not know. And when I say a different opinion than ours, your show is completely a different approach than ours. And you guys out there who are listening, it's an audio podcast. You listen to it in your car, on your tablet, your headphones. You know, with us, we're on TV and audio, but if you want to hear something else that's a little different, hear their opinions. And I said, one of you guys are coming to my show one day. We're going to Skype it in or something. We're going to work it out. We're going to be on our show. I think it'd be fun for the five of us to sit down and talk about a week's worth of General Hospital.
Yeah.
Like I said, we do wind up in Los Angeles often. I was out there, both of us were out there in September of last year and staying in North Hollywood. So we actually...
Oh, my God. Okay, well...
There's Basketball's network studio.
Yeah.
Yes, well then... Open-ended invitation whenever you are in Los Angeles and you're going to be here on a Sunday from between 5:30 and 7 o'clock. You're welcome on our show.
Sounds great.
That's just open-ended. If you just happen to know you're going to come, wherever, just let me know and we promote it. And you know, and I mean, it's like I said, I feel like it's so community. We're all in this together. We have a love of the show that's been around for 54 years, and anything I can do to kind of help support you guys. I have no problem doing it all. I think it's just that we get this out to everybody. Everybody's talks about General Hospital. Hopefully, the show can stay on maybe another 54 years or whatever. Just stay on for a while, and
definitely.
Because we don't know. I don't know what ABC's thinking or how they're thinking about the show, but we love it. And you guys, and you listeners, you guys love it too. And now you can find a song and Rachel at planetlumina.com. They're also on iTunes. You can also find them there, and all the episodes are there. And you're also on Twitter. You are on Twitter also, I guess, aren't you? That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think. So you can go there too if you want. You want to do that.
Facebook chat.
Oh, you're on Facebook. Yeah, they're on Facebook too. So you go ahead and I think I posted something on our page, GH Report. Follow us there. I think I put a thing on there for a link to them on ours. If not, I'll do it tonight. And you can actually click. Yeah, why not? Please. Yes, we're all family. We're all the GH family. We do this together.
This has been a great conversation. I don't think there's anybody around us that can talk to us about this on this level.
Right.
We're always kind of forcing it on people.
Trying to get more converts.
That's so funny. Aww. Because we're all out here. No, actually, there are folks back there. I guess you still guys don't know them. So maybe you'll get to know them more, and they'll be like, oh my God, we can talk to you about this. But you have me. You always have me. We can talk to you about it. I'll have you back on the podcast again too. We'll do it again, and you'll come on, and we'll talk about random GH stuff and so you guys. This is Planet Lumina. It's out there. Listen to it. It's on Sunday. Actually, when do you guys release your episodes? Is it Sunday Mondays or Sundays? Can't remember.
Monday morning.
Monday morning, that's right. So Monday mornings, they release a new episode. There's one out there now. Like I said 66 episodes out there. Listen to them. I'm James Lott Jr., of course. You can follow me on all the interwebs at James Lott Jr., where James Lott Jr. is sold. And JS Reports every Sunday, AfterBuzzTV.com. We're on iTunes, we're on SoundCloud, and we're on YouTube. And of course, this is all because of JLJ Media, which is my media company, and that's everywhere too. And so next time, I will talk to you on the mic.